Hi everybody, this is Mike Pach with Three Peaks Photography. It's a beautiful day out here in Colorado Springs. It's also opening day for baseball, which means my White Sox at this point are still undefeated, and your team is undefeated too because they haven't played a game yet. We're out here today to demonstrate how to align your move, shoot, move tracker in the daytime when, of course, you can't see your alignment star. Like in my case, that would be Polaris. So the reason we're taking a look at this is in case you want to use your tracker to track the sun for the upcoming solar eclipse. Now, the speed of rotation of the trackers is not going to be matching up with the movement of the Earth and relative to the sun, but it's going to help keep the sun in your frame longer than it would if you were not using a tracker. So you can also use this method in the evening if you don't have a laser, or if you are in an area where you can't use a laser, or if it's cloudy enough that your alignment star, like Polaris, is blocked. So I have two setups going on right here. I am going to break these down and show you how to set up both, but the one right next to me is the Move Shoot Move Rotator. I have my ball head attached to the rotating plate. I have the phone holder attached to the other side through the thread adapter, or with the thread adapter, and then I have my Android phone attached to the phone holder. I have my Benro three-way geared head on this as well, so that I can more easily adjust the position of the tracker to align it. Over here I have the Nomad with a ball head and a camera on it, and I have the adapter bracket, which was designed by Stephen Barnes for attaching the phone holder to the Nomad. And you can see it's also got an attachment for the scope. And again, I'm going to break both of these down. For the Nomad, I'm using the Move Shoot Move wedge. And we're going to break these down and see how each of them is set up. Okay, so for the Rotator, I'm using the Benro three-way geared head, and I'm just going to attach it to the top of my tripod. Of course, with this head, I have three different knobs for the three different axes. So this knob controls my declination, my up and down. This knob back here controls my side to side, and this knob controls, I was reaching to the wrong place. This knob controls my horizontal level. Now, when you're aligning, you want the knob that's controlling your declination to be pointing towards your alignment star, in this case, the north. I'm pointing not to the north right now, but the north is basically behind me where I'm standing right now. And one important thing to note is that if you check your apps like PhotoPills, they will tell you your coordinates. You want to adjust your declination to match your latitude. So here we're pretty close to 39 degrees north. So you can see I've got these markings on the dial here, and I'm going to adjust my declination till I get to 39 degrees. Now, to attach the Rotator onto the top, I have my Arca Swiss plate here. The rotating plate faces the alignment star. So in our case, Polaris or north. So I got to make sure that the rotating plate faces that way. I have installed the adapter threads here for the phone holder. These threads are for my head, which I'll put on right now. Okay, your head doesn't have to point north. Once you have alignment, you can move your camera wherever you want. In the case of photographing the eclipse, I'm going to move the camera position so that it is facing the sun. Now I just take the phone holder, there's threads down on the bottom here, and screw this in here without stripping the threads. And then I want to position this so that I can easily see my phone. So I can widen the clamp here in order to give myself enough space to fit the phone inside. And then clamp that down. And then of course my camera goes on top of my ball head. So with an Android phone, any app that you have that will help you get or find north will help you, such as photo pills. So what I want to do first before using photo pills is make sure that I'm calibrated to my position. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my side-to-side knob to make sure that I am in the right position facing true north when I align this. Okay, let's take a look at the Nomad. Okay, so with the Nomad, I am going to use the Move, Shoot, Move wedge. And these two knobs work together to adjust your side-to-side position. And then this knob adjusts your declination. So I'm just going to put this on top of the tripod. And again, if I am aligning to the North Star, I want the knob that is adjusting my declination to point to the North Star. And next, I can put on my Nomad. So the Nomad comes with this plate that attaches to the bottom of your camera. And then this ring attaches to the rotating platform. So one of the nice things about the Nomad plate is that it's square, so you can rotate it 90 degrees if you need to. So in the case of the wedge, I need to make sure that the rotating plate is pointing in the same direction as my alignment star. So I've got the rotating plate here. Here's my knob to adjust my declination. Now I'm going to attach this to the bottom of my head. So make sure that you don't forget to put the ring on before you tighten this plate on. So this goes onto the head. So with this type of screw that has a slot in it, I like to use a coin or a screwdriver or a tool like this to make sure that it is very tight. I need to make sure that the teeth on the plate engage with the teeth on the rotating plate. There we go. And then I have to make sure I get the threads on properly and tighten my ring. Okay. I'm going to move my head around a little bit. And now I can attach my camera onto the clamp. Now I'm going to go ahead and align this. So if I turn everything around, the hole that's in the back of the Nomad for attaching your laser and the bracket for holding the laser and the scope is also the hole that you use to attach this bracket that holds the phone holder. And you can see this is where you would put the scope, and this is the hole that matches up with this hole here. So you take this attached screw, slip it through the hole. You also have edges on the sides that allow you to match up with the edges of the Nomad so that you're assured it's in the correct place. And then once I get the thread started, now I can tighten this down. And this is where the phone holder would go. So here's the phone holder, and I'm gonna, this is an Arca Swiss type of a device. I'm gonna slip it into the slot here, and then tighten down this nylon screw. Okay, I want to make sure that I have this oriented the proper way so that when I put my phone on it, it is facing me. And get my phone, put it in here, and just tighten it down. To hold it securely. Okay, and there you go. So I'm going to give you a closer look at aligning with PS Pro with the iPhone. This is an Android device, so with the Android device you would use a different app like Photo Pills. Let me take this off for a moment and show you. If I want to, I can also keep this bracket on. It's a little bit difficult to attach the other devices with the phone holder on here. But if I want to leave this bracket on, I certainly can, and I can attach the laser. If I want to attach the laser, I have to unscrew the cap on the front. And then these threads match with the threads and the red attach screw. And if I want to put the scope on, the scope slides in here. Okay. You might want to take the laser pointer off if you're going to use the scope. Also, if you have the 90-degree eyepiece, you can put that on there as well. So this is the illuminator for the reticle. So if we were out in the dark and wanted to use the scope, we would just slide that on here and tighten it down. And this glows in the dark, so you'd be able to see your reticle at night. So let's take a look at how to align with PS Align Pro. And I'll show you what that looks like as well as a screenshot, and then we'll take a look at aligning with Photo Pills. Okay, so this is the daytime setup for aligning the tracker, and as you can see, I've got the Nomad on top of the MSM wedge, and we're using an iPhone with PS Align Pro, and you can see this target and crosshatch pattern that's on the screen. And what we need to do is where the center of the target is, that is our position of Polaris. And so with our knobs for moving side to side on the wedge, and the knob in the front for increasing or decreasing our declination, we can adjust the position of the tracker so that we are perfectly aligned with Polaris. So you can see the crosshatch pattern, the plus sign with the target. So what Jim is doing here is he's adjusting the side-to-side knobs on the tracker to get the center of the cross into the middle of the target. We did a little work earlier to adjust our latitude position, and we did that by adjusting the knob in the front on the wedge for the declination. So we're at roughly 39 degrees north, and we have now the cross right into the middle of the target, and this is where we would leave our tracker, and it's now currently aligned with Polaris. So you can leave this on your setup so that when you put your camera on and adjust its position, you can check to see if your alignment has shifted. And so now we have successfully aligned to Polaris during the day with an iPhone and PS Align Pro. It's pretty easy. So what I'm doing here with the Android phone is I'm using the augmented reality on PhotoPills, and I've done my best to get north into the middle of the screen. I've adjusted my declination as close as I could to 39 degrees. So here's the setup with the Android and the Nomad. You can see the phone and the phone holder. A couple things that I want to point out. First of all, if you plan on using the latitude markings on the wedge or the geared head to adjust your position, you first should level your tripod. You can use PhotoPills for your latitude position, but the phone needs to be perfectly parallel to the back of the tracker, which is difficult to do. Where did I put that? I had it. Where did I put that?